The I am breathing, and it's a super important thing to learn, and very simple. It's also described on my website, but I think demonstrating it here is much easier to understand. When you read the words, how I explain it sounds very technical. It's a technique where you can center your energies in your heart, and at the same time clear energies out of, you know, this sort of expression part of yourself. So right here is usually where most of us can feel this, when we're in situations where we don't want to confront, or where we don't want to say our truth, or where we feel unable to express our truth. All right, and this breathing is as simple as it gets, really, as far as energy work techniques is concerned. It's called I am breathing because it involves the words I am, but it can also be done without those. The main idea is to build an inner pattern, an inner pathway for you to center your energies no matter where you're at. So if you're in public, you may want to omit the I am part, like saying these words, but I will demonstrate this to you. The whole point is accepting that most of your energies are somewhere sort of floating around in and around your body. If you don't know yet how to differentiate emotional, mental, spiritual energies and so forth, don't worry about this. You don't have to know any of this. All you got to know is, like, where is my center? Okay, your center is right here, the center of your chest, you know, kind of like on the level of your heart, but towards the center. And everything, just to simplify it, everything like above this level here, okay, could be considered as mental energies. There's also spiritual energies, and of course it's not that easy to separate our energies from another, but if you just follow me with this visualization. And everything below this level here, consider this to be your emotional energies, your karmic inner child stuff and so forth, stuff that is much harder to pinpoint. All right, so this is usually where those energies get stored in your body. And so as you breathe in, I want you to visualize literally pulling those energies in. Okay, let's practice this just with your mental energies. All right, as you breathe in, feel it like as if you're creating sort of a vacuum cleaner in your heart, and pull in all those mental energies, all these thoughts, your critical inner voice, the inner conflicts. Just pull this into your heart. And as you breathe out, I want you to visualize breathing it out sideways. So naturally we picture it breathing it out forward, but I want you to go sideways. There's a reason for this, a metaphysical reason. But let's practice this a little bit and then move on to our emotional energies, because there you'll actually feel this. So as you breathe in, pull in all energies from here, from your head, your throat, your shoulders, all the burdens that you take, and even from above your head. Pull this into your heart, hold still for a second, and then release it sideways. And the longer you can go with breathing out, the more effective the clearing actually. And I'll explain this for those of you who like sort of scientific explanations, why this works and how this works. But let's continue the practice. Breathing in, holding, breathing out. Okay. And now I want you to do the same thing with the lower energies. You can't see this right now here because I got my phone sideways, but picture sucking in, pulling in all those emotional, all those sort of mushy energies from below your heart center into your heart as you're breathing in. And breathe them out sideways. Again, breathing in and breathing out. All right, as you get used to these two components, it's kind of like playing piano, learning the right hand, learning the left hand. Now we're actually connecting your hemispheres, and now we're doing both at the same time. This takes a little practice, so don't expect yourself to be able to do this the first time. Now I want you to breathe in and pull both parts in at the same time. Holding. Breathing out. All right, I know some of you guys can feel this. All right, I can feel this energetically. This is my job, okay? I'm a remote energy worker. So let's do this again. All right, there's a clearing effect with this. And also a centering effect. You don't need to know anything about energy work. All you need is to know how to breathe. And we all know how to breathe. We just have to make it a little more conscious to ourselves and what we're doing this for. All right? So as you do this, and now comes the tricky part, and this is the part that will help you to clear your throat chakra, to clear this clump in your throat. All right? As you breathe in, yes, it's very simple. It's very simple, but it's not easy. All right? Most energy work and energy healing techniques are very simple. They're just not easy. All right? And so we have to practice that a little bit. And so as you breathe in, I want you to say the word I. And as you breathe out, I want you to say the word am. And as you can hear this, am kind of lends itself to breathing out. So really stretch that M at the end, kind of like the Om. All right, it's the same thing. It's just very similar. It has to do with resonance within our body, with involving our vocal cords, with flushing our entire energy with a certain frequency. And the words I am are very high vibratory words. Not just in the English language. If you speak a different native language, use the words that are that you would use in your language. All right, it's usually 2 words. In most languages, it's 2 words. So as you breathe in, refer to yourself, refer to your center, and as you breathe out, refer to your being, your beingness. All right, and so let's do this together. All right, and you will crack up laughing now because it's so hard to vocalize even just a simple sound like I with breathing in. Okay, we're not used to this, and this is the practice. Opening up your throat as you breathe in. All right, well, this is kind of like what this sounds like. And because it sounds a bit eerie, I recommend not to do this in public at first while you're practicing. And even if you, are very trained in this, this is more like for you. This is like really sort of spiritual first aid, as I call it. All right? But when you are in these situations where you can't really do this kind of stuff, you can still do this without saying I am. But the practice of opening up your throat chakra and activating this whole area here, okay, is very, very beneficial. So try this. The scientific or metaphysical explanation, okay, why this works. I know you've heard these terms over and over again, and they're kind of misused a bit. So you'll maybe hear me say this in a sort of less mystical way than most try to explain this. But really what happens is that as you center your intention and your energies in your heart center, here in the center of your center, something happens to your energy. And that is, there's a very, very powerful vortex here in your heart. Vortex is like a sort of a concentration of energy, and it's moving extremely fast, kind of like a black hole, but a black hole in a positive sense. And picture this like as everything that you're throwing in there is being energetically inverted and comes out on the other side, sort of as the opposite. So all the negativity, all the gunk that you're carrying around with you, all the stuff that you've been absorbing here with the family dinner, all right, you can send this into your heart vortex as you go. We call this a zero field. It's like it's an event horizon where everything can be depolarized or repolarized, if you will. So you sent negativity in and it comes out as neutral energy, and this is now energy that is available for you again, for your etheric protection, say, or for just, feeling less bombarded, or for feeling, more secure about yourself. And that's done when the expression part comes in, when all this is cleared out. Of course, it's a lot more complex than that. You will see, and I'm sure all of you guys have had these moments before, where when you talk, everything sort of flows. It just goes like real easy, and you find the right words at the right time. And when your throat chakra and your heart chakra, when they're like clogged, then things get a little bit, words don't come out right, or it's too late, or you don't know what to say, and your mind is too much involved. How many of you have made huge mistakes in your lives because, or perceived mistakes because you didn't listen to your gut feeling? Give me some feedback here. How many of you have made decisions where you knew it was going to be wrong? You had the right prompting at the right time, and yet for some other reason, maybe in order to look good in the eyes of the other, or because of your conditioning, or because of what the group said was the right thing. Yes, we all have. And that's why it's so important to learn how to discern energies. And if our heart chakra is too open, we let everything in unfiltered. And so what we need to learn is the differences between emotions, feelings, and sensations. The difference between wanting approval from somebody else, wanting attention from somebody else, and at the same time being centered in who we truly are. And here we come back to an emotion is tied to our autonomous nervous system, is tied to our past memory, to our cell memory. Whereas a feeling is more of something that is coming in and that is very spontaneous. So the spontaneity of our inner subtle feelings is what makes us makes it hard for us to trust in it. But again, here, 4th, 5th chakra, all this has to do with this. All right, the lower chakras, where we mostly store our emotional energies and karmic stuff and so forth, that's influencing our emotions. All right, so even if we think we're in control of this mentally, even if we think we have all the metaphysical understanding in the world, there are hardwires that are coming from our emotions that are stored and regulated in our lower chakras, that influence the way we perceive and the way we emote. They're directly anchored into our autonomous nervous system. And again, I've written quite a bit about this. Someone of you mentioned tingling in the ears is a very common 6th and 7th chakra sensation. This is showing you that there's something opening up here in this area. Okay, this includes your ears. The 6th chakra is kind of like, your third eye is kind of like down here in between your eyes. Okay, so very often you will hear the ear tingling or the buzzing as one of these what people often call typical ascension symptom. All right, it's opening up. And when something is opening up in energy work, we call this the energies are speeding up. It's moving faster, and this can be translated in a sensation. So that's a sensation of tingling, a high-pitched tone in your ears and buzzing. This can go all the way to feeling this vertigo feeling and a rather uncomfortable, extreme type of sensations. But don't get into fear when you experience this, all right? Breathing, again, just breathing through it, breathing into it, just like we just practiced, can help you to ease the symptoms, all right? So sensations are things that come through mostly our body, but it can also come through to some of our energetic body, which means sort of unexplainable things that happen. Another one, very typical, is sort of twitching in the eye. Has any one of you had eye twitches lately? especially at the beginning of the year. Yes, eye twitching is something that shows you that there is, I mean, of course, provided that there is no medical diagnosis for it, but it's usually showing you that there are energies speeding up here in your inner mind's eye. All right, so that's not anything to be worried about. It can also be linked to fear. So again, here the centering and the calming down is really, really important. This counts for any of your energetic sensations, and this is why I recommend everybody over and over again to train yourself to learn your inner lexicon of sensations and energetic feelings. Because the more you know them, the more relaxed you can be about them, and just witness them as like, oh, okay, I got stuff going on in my throat chakra, I got stuff going on in my crown, you know, I got energies coming in, you know, I got issues with my root right now, you know, I got money problems and so forth, yeah, you know, and as a result you have hip issues. So there's connections there, and you can learn this. Everybody can learn this. We all have this sense, all right, for our energy. It's just that we were never taught it. All right, comment here in the comment section after the video is posted so I can answer to you in typing.